Hi, ho, good neighbors, and Happy New Year. Forgive my disheveled appearance. It's a lazy day, a very rare lazy day, where I'm still working and doing things. But anyway, I want to wish everybody a Happy New Year. I hope that you've had a good 2024. I know a lot of people who haven't. So if that's the case, not that I've ever been one to believe in the new year being anything different per se based on a date. I will say I hope that 2025 brings you much more happiness, success, and peace, which I think we need a lot more of. Anyway, I'm here just not long. Honestly, I have been off social media, kind of taking care of some things behind the scenes, recharging my battery, refreshing my soul, so to speak, and trying to surround myself with a more positive attitude, positive people, and positive circumstances, which it really makes a difference. I've popped on briefly, make a few posts here and there. There are going to be big changes this year with Philbo Entertainment Promotions, which is my company, which most people don't know, which has subsidiaries of Philbo Publishing and my CreatorCon show. But it also now has Philbo Distribution, as some of you may have seen. And you probably have questions about that, and I will give some answers about that. Before I do, we have a lot going on this year. And I publish other people from other countries as well, and we do it through Kickstarter, which now is going to have an option of distribution in stores. But regardless, I'll get to that in a moment. We will have many Kickstarters this year from continued projects such as Night from Guido Martinez out of Argentina. We will have a new manga project that is awesome that we're going to announce soon, Vanilla Land. From another creator, and which we'll divulge later. We have sci-fi, we have superhero, we have action. We have some great books coming along the way from some great indie people that I'll be publishing through crowdfunding and possibly later through distribution. I will also be continuing my stories as well. Now, to start off the year, I'm going to be doing a 415-page hardcover omnibus of everything that Philbo has ever published, and that will launch hopefully tentatively in the middle of February. And I'm very excited with a great cover by Mike Mez Phillips, colored by February Ferdian, and the back cover is by Jay Sloan, colored by February Ferdian. It's a 400-plus wall book, and it's all story, so no filler. So it's exciting. I'm excited to do it. And we're going to take care of that. Tragedy 6 has been fulfilled. Night was fulfilled. Madcaps has been fulfilled. And we will be launching new Madcaps this year as well. We are waiting on David River to finish the pages for Arcane Syndicate. He has 6 to go, I believe, and then he just has to ink some. We're looking at the second week of this month. He should be wrapped up, hopefully. February Ferdian will do colors. He's pretty quick. George Medina will do letters. He's very quick as well, but efficient. Rally, Happy New Year, buddy. Thanks for coming in and joining me. I hope you had a great holiday season. I hope you guys are enjoying today before you get back to the grinds of life. Anyway, so Arcane Syndicate, I'm hoping, will be completed in full by the end of this month. And I promise to fulfill as quickly as possible. It is still in demand on Kickstarter. If you missed it and you would really like to pledge, you can go to the Kickstarter. Just type in Arcane Syndicate, and you're welcome to still pledge and be part of the initial fulfillment. And we'll get you in there, and we'll get you done in time. Okay. The omnibus is going to contain tragedies 1 through 6. It is going to contain Dynamics number 1, Withered number 1, the Withered short story from my prose book to introduce you to the story, Arcane Syndicate number 1, and the 5 horror stories from Diary of Dread. So all in all, it's 410 pages of content, just story. And it's going to be great, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, yes, dear, what can I help you with? You okay? All right, you can come say hello if you want. All right, little bear is at the door, peeking in. Anyway, the big news, which a lot of people have left the room already, It's too bad because this is the interesting news. So, as you know, the industry has a lot of, the middlemen, so to speak. And I'm not saying this in negative ways. It's just, reality fact of the matter. So, for example, you kind of rely on a publisher to get your book out there, and then you rely on like Diamond Distribution or Lunar Distribution or Penguin, to distribute your book, right? Hey, Dennis Knight. I've been off the internet, but my sincerest condolences to you. It's been a rough year for a lot of us losing our parents, and I am sorry. And I hope that, in time, healing occurs and things get better. So you have my condolences and my sincere well wishes to you. I've been offline, so I didn't know. Anyway, I wanted to tell people that there's a lot of great indie books out there, but unfortunately there's a lot of hindrances. Maybe they don't have the budget to do a monthly, or they don't have the means. They're being rejected by Diamond or etc. Now, Diamond, and I'm not here to say anything bad. I'm just saying factually, Diamond does do a form of gatekeeping, as do Lunar, etc., and the others. Diamond, if they don't like your book, they're not going to distribute it. I never understood that. I understand a publisher, gatekeeping because they're investing, right? They're the ones paying for the print run. So they have to believe that the book is sellable and the art is good and everything. So I totally understand that. But for a distributor who's basically just taking your books and mailing them out, and you really need the distributor because they have the list of all the stores around the country or the continent or the world, is why you need them. So I'm not sure why they gatekeep like that, but they do. It is what it is, but I'm not one to really let people tell me what to do, So I've always been someone who, if I don't like the way something's going, I just do it myself the way I think it should be done. I did that with my shows. I did that when I was art repping. I do it when I do my comic books. Hey, Pete, Happy New Year, buddy. Hope things are getting better for you, too. I hope you found a car. So, again, not out of bitterness or anger. It's a matter of we just need to move forward. We need to be trendsetters and fortune favors the bold. And if there's one thing about me, whether you like me or hate me, is I'm bold. I will go do what I need to do. Whether it's 3 hours of sleep, I will bust my ass. I'm all for fighting and proving myself, and I don't think anything should be handed to me at all. But you're not going to tell me I can't get in the ring and fight. Having said that, I have amassed a master list of every comic store in North America. I have every store in the United States and in Canada. I have been talking to many of them, and I'm continuing to reach out to develop a relationship. And I will be distributing my own books monthly in comic stores, and I will be distributing a few other independent people that can maintain that schedule as well. I will be acting in the same manner of distribution with minor changes. I will not be gatekeeping because I'm not here to tell you whether your book is good or bad. I am here to ship your book to stores. There will be, just like Diamond, a digital preview sent out, and there will be an FOC, final order cutoff. And then at that point, the books will be distributed to the stores on a monthly basis. Now, you don't have to be an ongoing series. If you have a 6-issue miniseries, we will be doing that as well. We'll be doing graphic novels. We'll be doing a lot of things. I will not be taking the exorbitant percentage that Diamond does because I feel that if everyone succeeds, the community grows, the economy grows, the fan base grows, readership comes back, and everyone can succeed. I don't have the mentality of get mine at the expense of everyone else and move on. I think that's destructive to the community. And at the end of the day, when you're left with rubble, then you're grifting to the next thing, and that's not my intent. Comics have been a very, very important part of my life, whether saving me from a rough childhood and keeping me away from bad habits, or just simply a nice therapeutic escape. But it also taught me heroes, right and wrong. Not that I don't make my mistakes, but at least, it taught me to try to be better. And no, Dennis, it does not. When I distribute, you can either be published by me and distributed, or you could be your own publisher. You don't need to seek out Image anymore. You don't need to seek out Dark Horse. And you don't need to get Diamond to approve you. You distribute through me. I take my percentage, which is just to cover my expenses of fulfillment, because I have to take the books and I have to have a team that's going to pack them and send them to all the stores. I'm going to be obviously spending time and manpower with my previews magazine and my version of previews and things of that nature. More details will come. I was reluctant to say this early, but I'm just going to now. Because to be honest with you, I don't see anybody amassing the list that I did. It's a true, genuine list of every store. And it was not easy. But again, I'm a man who will do what he needs to do. 3 hours of sleep, I did it. The big thing will be, of course, getting the respect of the stores. And so far, so good. A lot of stores and some major stores are ready to work with me, and they're interested. As you know, I work with some big names in Marvel and DC that will be doing store signings with me to launch my own books. So there's other details that I'm not going to get into, but this is a legitimate distribution platform. It is not a gimmick. It is not limited to 12 stores or just New York State. This is North America. This will include Canada. I have the entire list. And no, I will not share that list. It took me anywhere between 60 and 80 hours of work and diligent work, because I had to make sure it was accurate. Anyway, so this is an opportunity as distribution for the indie scene that is being blatantly ignored by the mainstream. Now, I know you may say, well, Image isn't mainstream, it's creator owned, and I agree, it's creator owned, and on that level it's deemed independent, but they're using mainstream means. So that's why I don't consider them independent. Independents are the people that can't get that chance and are on Kickstarter and using Kickstarter's distribution because they cannot get this opportunity. And I'm kind of tired of that. I'm tired of people telling great creators that they have to stay in their small little pond. And I do feel that Kickstarter, even if the economy starts to recover, I do think that the demographic on Kickstarter has altered greatly for comic books. I think that there are still readers, but I think it's majority collectors now, whether it's people wanting to grade covers or NSFW, or they're more into the swag of things. And it really is evident if you just go look and take a good look at what's going on in comics. Now, there will be people that tell me I'm wrong and everything, but those are usually the people that are implementing the strategies that I'm saying and getting those collector fans. So they're really just proving my point, but they're just afraid that I'm calling them out. Everybody, Happy New Year. John Epple, Ryan, Lorenzo, Michael Oden. How are you guys? Thanks for coming in. So this is big, and if anybody knows me, and most of you don't know me well, just my Facebook online, but those who know me well know that I'm pretty fearless. I'm pretty organized. I'm very organized. I'm able to multitask, and I'm very deathly serious when I decide I'm going to do something. And when I do it, I do it right or I don't do it at all because my pride won't allow me otherwise. And I am willing to go gray, go bald, and go 3 hours of sleep a night if it means creating the life that I want. And that's what's going on. So 2025 is going to be a very big year. But make no mistake, I want everybody to understand, you need to understand how the business works. It all sounds great. Oh, distribution, I can go into stores monthly. It's not easy. You have to afford that schedule financially. You have to be able to make sure your team can provide that book and create it on time. You cannot be late, because I want to remind you, Image Comics were huge names in the industry. And when their books were late, their sales tanked after a while because people lose interest and they get fed up. So there's a lot to this. There's a lot of working parts. There's a lot of grinding gears, and there's a lot of people you have to rely on to pull their weight and do what they need to do. So I'm only accepting serious, capable people in distribution. That's my only gatekeeping, because if I promise books that don't deliver, that hurts my distribution company and my reputation with these stores. So there are stipulations that you have to meet as far as deadlines and everything. But as far as your book, I am not here to tell you whether I think your book is marketable or not. It's your job to grind. It's your job. I'm just going to put it out to all the stores and ship whatever orders. But I'm not here to tell you whether your book is good enough or not, because who the hell am I to say? Now, if you want to publish through me, then I have to be confident that my investment is going to work out. That's two different things. Larry Stroman in the house. How the hell are you, my friend? I messaged you twice, damn it. Didn't get a response. I hope you're doing well, Larry. Larry is a good man. I want everybody to know, when COVID was happening, and I was actually told I couldn't work for 18 months. And Long Island's a very expensive place to live, and I was struggling. And Larry was the one creative that offered some major assistance to me out of kindness. So I just want everybody to know, whatever you hear about Larry sometimes or things, Larry's a good man, and he's an amazing artist, and he's a talent, and I'm proud to call him a friend. So, Larry's been dealing with some health issues, so just prayers to Larry, and I wish you well, Larry, and I hope everything works out for you and you have a good year. And I hope we're still going to see Tribe. Anyway, yes, Michael, absolutely. Now, I want to be very clear about this. Distribution, I started this because I wanted to get my books out there, and I was tired of, I went to Diamond, right? And I showed them Tragedy, all the big names I'm working with, yada yada yada. I'm going to be 15 books ahead by the time this starts, and I'm already on issue 11. And for whatever reason, they turned me down with an excuse saying that I needed to be 2 years ahead in advance, which is not true, and that they wanted more than one title per month. Meanwhile, I talked to the CEO and owner of Zenescope. I talked to some big names that are with Diamond right now, and they all say that's BS. I mean, they all have, one of the big names has one title going out. No one's 2 years in advance. That's absurd. So I don't know what that was about or why. Maybe I pissed off somebody. I don't know. But it was just weird. And then a big name went to bat for me and went to Diamond and said, no, you need to distribute this guy. The book is great. He works with big names. He's solid. He's reliable. And they just ignored all of us. So I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the struggles Diamond's having lately, and maybe they're going to go away from comics. I don't know, or maybe they're just looking for slam dunks because of the loss in revenue with the big companies. I don't know. Lunar has me on a wait list, like it does with hundreds of other people that are deserving. And Lunar is now really just becoming Diamond again, where it's the only option you have. Well, I don't like that. For this industry to thrive, we can't be narrowing it to one entrance in. There's too many great creators vying for the one or two positions. That's not healthy. It's not healthy for the growth of this industry at all. It's not, readership, and people argue with me with this, and you're welcome to, but the numbers don't lie, or the lack of reporting numbers don't lie. Readership is down with Western comics, and it's up with Eastern comics like manga. And when I've done a lot of research, I've talked to a lot of manga fans in person at stores, online, etc., and every one of them says part of the reasons our manga are really character driven. It's about character, and then they put them in these interesting and new and different circumstances. What comics here used to do. They also, manga does in Japan have where they put out these, in these larger magazines, they put out different pieces of the manga and each month, and then they do the collected volume, etc. So they have a different model that seems to work. Now, people say to me, nobody wants monthlies anymore. They don't want ongoing. They want self-contained stories. And I disagree wholeheartedly. I think that the newer generation might be accustomed to self-contained stories because of short attention span. There's so much other stuff out there to get their attention. But there is a whole old school group of readers that have dropped off comics, hence why readership is down, because they don't like the direction of comics. They didn't like the rebooting at number one every time. That to me right there tells me that people want continuity. They want it to continue. All right. People got turned off by constant reboots at number ones. Now, I understand when you get to 1,000 issues, the reason why they were doing that is because it's too much to do all that research back and forth, but it's also hard for new readers to come on board. So they want to make it easy for you to jump on board. Here's a new jump on board point. And I get that. I do. I understand. But indie guys like us who are starting at number one, maybe 6, 7 issues in, and ongoing is perfect. Monthly is perfect because it is the jump on point. It is new. And once fans see that it's, good writing, or they get invested in the character and they trust that it's going to continue on, it's not going to fade into obscurity because of money or whatever, you can grow a fan base. It's like a snowball going downhill, right? If the snowball goes and then stops, it starts to melt. It doesn't build. But if you let that ball roll, it becomes a boulder by the bottom of the hill because it created momentum. And that's how I feel about monthly. And I may be wrong, but I'm damn willing to try and find out. See, that's the thing about me. I'm not afraid of looking bad. I'm not afraid of not succeeding. I just don't want to live with regret. I don't want to look back at my life 20 years from now when I'm 72 and wonder, what if I just tried? That's it. I'll sleep when I die. So Philbo Publishing is real. Philbo Distribution is real. And in 2025, we're going to see just how real it is. Because I really think Kickstarter is a good platform, but it is not distribution. It is not going to save or help the indie community. If you look at the people that are very successful on Kickstarter, they started in mainstream. Billy Tucci, Brian Pulido and Ethan Van Sciver, they all built their names, their fan bases, and their reputations being mainstream in distribution. And then they came over to Kickstarter and their fans followed. Kickstarter is Kickstarter. It's to kickstart your project, and it's become a distribution hub for indie people because it's their only outlet. It's not working. Not for distribution. Most books that are quality, they may make a couple thousand and you can create the books and ship out your 120 to 200 books to people. But in the scheme of things, in an industry that used to sell 900,000 copies of Iron Man in a heartbeat, you're selling to 120 people. It's not distribution, guys. There's no growth there. I'm sorry. It's not me shitting on anybody. It's just true. And we need an option. Do I think I'm the comic book savior? I do not. Do I think that I have all the answers? I do not. Do I think that I'm the chosen one? I do not. I'm just a schmuck like everybody else trying to find a way to be happy in life and succeed. I've got the creator itch. I have stories that scratch at my brain and I've got to get them out. And whether I'm sharing with 3 or 500, I just got to get them out. I just want to try, you know? And I know there's many of you like that, writers like Dennis and artists like John, you know, and Mike. Hi, Mike. I get it. And there's a sense of powerlessness that comes with being in this industry. I'm seeing the posts all the time. People, you know, Facebook is gatekeeping too now. You know, the algorithms keep you down. They're promoting the people that are big. Even Kickstarter's algorithm keeps, you know, the big campaigns up and buries the little guys. We're not getting a chance from these people. Now, some would say if they're threatened that you'll take their job, that, you know, they're keeping you down. That's probably part of it. Some would say that there's an elitist attitude, that they just think they're better. Well, that may be part of it. I don't know what the reasons are per se. No one can really quantify that for sure. What I do know is this. We have two choices. Find a way to circumvent the problems that are presented in front of us, or accept them and just do the best you can in your little pond. I'm not good at accepting that. Sorry. I'm just not. I'm an old, cranky, fighting Irishman. You know, they say Irish people drink and they fight. Well, I don't drink. So I'm just going to do my best. And like I said, I have started reaching out to stores, and many of them have actually really interested. They're very excited. It's a solid business model. I've spoken to some big names in the industry that I won't name right now because no contracts have been signed, and they're interested as well, whether publishing with me or distributing. But I'm going to pay my dues first. I'm going to build this. I'm going to build confidence with the LCS, because the reality of the business is this. The creators create the content. The comic stores are the front line selling that content. But yet we're the ones struggling while the middleman is walking away with all the money. Diamond is making a lot of money. They made their money. Lunar is making a lot of money. These middlemen are making a lot of money where the creators are scratching, you know, and the LCS are closing. There's something wrong with that model. I mean, the middleman found a way, as always, to come in and take all the money while the creators who make the content struggle, and the stores who are the front line getting it out there to people struggle. That's the biggest issue I see with this industry. The wrong people are making the money. I mean, hey, good for you. If you found a way to get in there, be a middleman, and make you scratch, good for you. But it's now been structured where that's the only way to go. Bullshit. I'm not going to all of that out. There is no middleman. Now, you may say, but now I'm becoming a middleman for you. Yes, I am, because I put in the work to get that store thing. But I'm not a middleman looking to make money off of you. I want you to grow. I'm taking a small percentage to cover my expenses to ship your books. That's it. My money will be made off of my books selling. Because, and these are hypothetical numbers. These aren't actual numbers, but 5% of something is always more lucrative than 10% of nothing. Because if you fail because I'm taking too much of a percentage, I'm not making any money anyway. And then the industry hurts because nobody's books are out there. And we need a change, right? Everybody's tired of Marvel, DC, all the same stuff, right? Well, how about injecting some life? Let these stores start investing in some good indie books that if they got the reach, they would really do well. Tragedy is sold in stores across the country through consignment or just outright ordering. And they've come back for second, third orders, etc. But the problem is when you're not on that rack next month, people drop off. Stores put you, they bury you after a while because their real estate is important. If you own a local comic shop, it is absolutely important for you to not be wasting shelf space on a book that, even though the first one sold well, I don't know when the second one's coming out. You can't expect them to invest in that for you. And that's totally reasonable for a comic store. They got to put what's selling and what's consistently in the shop in front of your face on the prime real estate. That's the facts. So the answer is be there all the time. Be there monthly. Be something that they can confidently put on that rack and know it's going to be there every month. So Philbo Distribution is launching. I have a tentative date. I'm not going to give it out now because there are things that I have to take care of first before it starts. This has been in the works for a while. You know, people had asked me, why the hell would you get Will Spertasio and Bill Sienkiewicz and all these guys to work with you for an indie book? You know, indie people don't care about them, blah, 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 blah. Because I never intended to stay on Kickstarter. It was kickstarting my project the way it's supposed to. That's why. I have ratio variants for my debut in stores. These people will be doing store signings with me. I haven't spoken to Bill Sienkiewicz about it, but there are big names like Wills and Alex Sinclair that will do store signings with me. And that's all part of the plan that I've been working on for years. Now, what derailed me is I thought that Diamond would accept me and I'd go through that. But when they said no, I saw it as a sign that I need to do this myself. This is the way to go. And over the last 8 months, I had been taking care of that list. So that's the deal, guys. Philbo Distribution is legitimately a business model structured very, very similar, but more advantageous to the creator and the comic store as the other stores. I will not. Also, a lot of comic stores don't like Lunar because Lunar is a retailer as well. They sell the DC books on their site, and they're competing with the very stores they're trying to sell these books to. I am not doing that. I am not doing that at all. Comic stores thrive. We thrive. The more stores that close, the less places we have to get our books out there. Period. Comic stores have to thrive. We need to get good creators back writing good stories for readership to grow again. It's a fact. Now, I don't know if, this plan will help that jumpstart, but I'm sure as hell willing to try. So having said that, 2025 is going to be a very busy, very big year. I have the entire structure for the business in place. We're finishing up the website now. That will be a distribution website, purely distribution, where the LCS will sign up with an account there with their tax ID number, so we know that they're LCS, and they can order the books from there. There is an FOC date. Again, just like regular distribution, it'll be 3 months out. Hypothetically, if we launch the previews with books on April 1st, the FOC will be June 1st. They'll have 2 months to buy, to order. The FOC, to close up on June 1st, and then we'll have about a month to 6 weeks before the books get into the stores. And then the following month will be, opening up for the second issue, the following month, third, et cetera, with that 3 month outlay, in turn having a monthly book in stores. What I'm going to tell people is I'm just talking right now, but there will be a press release. There'll be an official announcement. I jumped the gun a little with this because I want to start creating a buzz. We need everyone to tell your stores about Philbo Distribution, to keep an eye out for emails and communications. And we need to let them know you want to order those books. Because if they can... All right. Thank you. They see me live. Anyway. If a store is holding, has they've got their people that have their monthly holds, right? If those people are coming in and saying, look, I really like the way that new tragedy book looks, I'd like to order that and try that, they will order with confidence. So I'm going to ask and implore all of you, whether you're an indie creator yourself looking for a shot, whether you're just a fan of comics, go to your local stores. Tell them Philbo Distribution's coming. Tell them to take us seriously. Tell them there's an indie wave that is about to come. And tell them you want these books. Tell them. And the other thing I'm going to ask you is I'm accumulating an email list of fans. If you would be interested in joining the email list so that we can send you updates on what's going on with the distribution and when books are going to go into stores, etc., I would love for you guys to get on that email list that I'm accruing. I already have, I have about 1,000 people. Obviously, we'd like that to grow, where you can get updates on what books are being released and when. And if you're a creator, it might behoove you to have that information too, because you may not be ready to join distribution with me in the next 5-6 months or whatever. But at some point you might be, and you'll be preparing, and you might want to be up to date on what's going on. So that's the deal. I'm deathly serious about this. I know that some won't take this seriously. I know that there will be some stores that are not interested in indie. I know that there will be some people in the industry that look at me and go, oh, that's great. It won't last or whatever. It will. If it's the last freaking thing I do, it will. This is going to happen. And no one has done this before, not on this level. I think Bad Idea Comics did something similar, but they only hit like 12 or 13 stores in like Phoenix. I have every store in North America. Every store. Okay? I'm not playing with this. I'm very deathly serious. This is my chance to get my books out there and try to help other indie creators that are doing quality work that are just as frustrated as myself. I do not begrudge anyone who's successful in this industry, whether it's NSFW or collectible or plushies or anything. I do not begrudge you at all. And I say, keep doing what works for you. God bless you. Make your life what you want it to be. But unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be enough, of that support for the creatives writing stories for the sake of stories. So I'm not looking to tear down those other people. I'm looking to build up here. And the industry only gets stronger if we're all thriving. If you have the collectible market, it ties into the reader market, right? People want to be able to buy that really great cover and grade it, but maybe they also want to buy a reader copy to read it. And that's my goal, all right? It's not to piss on anybody else. It's to bring up the side that's lacking right now. NSFW is doing very well on Kickstarter. Good. Keep going. I'm not into NSFW, but I always will fight for your right to do what you want to do as long as you're not hurting anybody else. I will always defend that. But I'm watching NSFW succeed and quality books that should be read and stories that should be shared and talked about struggling. I want that to change. Rising tide raises all ships, right? I want us all up. I want readership to grow, collectability to be strong, everybody to be happy. I'm not looking to upend anyone. I'm not looking to show up anyone. I'm not looking to hurt anybody's business at all. Do you, be happy, be successful. Hopefully you do it with integrity. But we do need to bring readership back to superhero comics. I also don't buy that superhero comics aren't selling anymore, that nobody wants them. I don't buy it. And plus everything's cyclical. There may have been a time where people were a little fatigued and looked for different things, but everything comes back. And you can wait for it to come back or you can make it come back. I'm not a waiter. I don't wait on anybody. I do it myself. That's it. And someone said to me, well, they say be in the right place at the right time. How do you do that? Simple. Just always be there. And eventually you'll land on the right time if you're always there. Well, I'm the constant. I'm a constant pain in the ass to my wife. I'm a constant pain in the ass to my family. I'm a constant pain in the ass in this industry. I'm not going anywhere. Like me or hate me, I'm not going anywhere. And that's the thing. It's all about writing. Like if you look at Aquaman, that book could never do well. And then Jeff Johns got on board and he wrote that book in a self-deprecating way. And they, of course, amped him up a bit with his strength, etc. And that book became solid. It was a good read, man. And it's stories that people talk about. It even became storylines for the movie with the trench and everything. And Aquaman is now a recognizable, respectable hero when he was a joke on a seahorse for 25, 30 years. Even Peter David did something different with him losing his hand and looking like Trident, looking like Poseidon and all that, but it was different, and it helped bring attention to Aquaman, and sales were good at the time. So that just shows you, it's not so much is it a bad hero or is it a bad writing, you know? And that's the truth. And when we look back on our stories, we love the art, and the art brings you in. And this is not by any means to denounce the art, because it's an art medium, and that covers what brings people in. Artists are the front line. They're what they do is amazing to help tell the story through sequential. But at the same time, I don't think writers get enough credit. When we talk about storylines, we're talking about what the writers wrote. We're talking about the Mutant Massacre, right? We're talking about how good that was. We're talking about what the writers wrote, what the story is, what happened with the characters. So writing is just as important, you know, and we reflect back on our favorite story arcs based on the writing, right? Now, don't get me wrong, the art brought us in, but the writing keeps you. Because there are a lot of great books art-wise that the stories were terrible and they fell off, and vice versa. There were a lot of great, wonderfully drawn books that the writing was just terrible. You know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And they have to go hand in hand. So I just want to give you a heads up. That's what's coming. There'll be an official press release and announcement soon. But I just wanted to give you guys a heads up, because you probably saw that quick little trailer clip that I put up and you were wondering. And yes, I will do it myself. All right. So that's just some of what's coming for 2025 with Philbo Entertainment Promotions. Again, we're doing a lot of Kickstarters still of other people's IPs from overseas. I'm doing the distribution, and it all starts with the Philbo Omnibus coming in February on Kickstarter, which is a 415 hard-page hardcover of every story that has been published and printed from me so far, with more to come. And we're very excited for this year. It is a grind. Make no mistake, anybody who thinks that this distribution, all of a sudden you're going to do 3,000, 5,000, 10,000 sales, doesn't work that way. It might start off with 800 orders, 500 orders, 1,500. I have no idea. But I do know this. At least I'm in the ring. And at least I got a shot. And that's all I'm asking for. And if you want a shot too, now you have an opportunity that you didn't have before. All right. Look, guys, I've been off online, off social media for a while, and I come on sporadically once in a while, look at things. And I will be probably doing the same because I'm focused on this. And to be honest with you, I've come to the realization that I could put 500 posts on Facebook and it won't matter. It doesn't help. You may get, you may look at my post and say, oh, you get 100 and something likes, or there was a post that got over 3,000 likes and 300 comments. And out of all those likes, maybe 40 people were interested in my book. So social media is not helping you. It's not. It's not. So it's time to shift gears, move the goalpost, change the rules. I'm not good at following rules. I'm not good at taking orders. I've just never been. I will never try to control you, but you're not going to control me. And this year we'll see. I wish everybody a happy new year. Whatever it is you want in life, I pray that this new year brings you happiness and joy and success and peace and love and kindness and confidence and health. Whatever you do, guys, do it with confidence. Do it 100% or don't do it at all. Or you're not going to make it. If you really want it, you got to bleed. You got to sacrifice. I tell my daughters every day, comfortable people never grow. You have to make yourself uncomfortable if you're going to succeed. And I'm uncomfortable. I'm always uncomfortable. I'm good with it. My hair isn't, as it went gray and I'm going bald, but I'm good with it. Thanks for coming out and hanging out, guys. Spread the word. Let them know I'm coming. Happy New Year. And I will leave you with what I always leave you with. Be legendary and have fun storming the castle.